Shalom Chaverim and welcome to beautiful Yafo Tel Aviv. I am here on the beach. I think this beach is called the Dromit, which means the South Beach. We're doing another video here in Israel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys old, ancient Yafo Tel Aviv. This is the old city. It's as close as you're going to get to old, ancient Jerusalem, but in the Merkaz, or the central district of Israel, like Tel Aviv. And there's lots of really cool old buildings here, old restaurants, really good food. I've also got a close family friend who owns a restaurant here. I'm going to show you guys a little bit later. But today we're going to take you guys on a tour. As you can see already when we're walking through, it's this beautiful neighborhood. I know this neighborhood really well because when I used to live in Israel, we used to come here all the time because, like I mentioned, we have an old family friend who sort of lives here and runs a restaurant. His whole family does. But I'm going to take you guys on a bit of a walking tour today to show you guys this place, because undoubtedly if you come visit Israel, you are going to come to this place, and I want you guys to know a little bit about it before you come. As you can see, we're here in one of the many little seating squares, beautiful areas you have here. You can see the tower of the masjid, or the mosque, right there. That is the Wailing Tower where prayers will happen. Everything is made of this old stone. I believe that it is limestone. I don't want to pretend that I know exactly what stone it is. I always thought that this was called Jerusalem stone, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I think it's a sort of limestone or coral rock, which would make sense because we're right near the ocean. As you can see, the ocean is right there. A beautiful ocean, might I say. But you know, as we are close to the beach here, you do have surf shops, tourist shops, jewelry stores, whatever you want. We're going to take you guys on a proper tour of this place today. Look what I just spotted. A Filipino tour group. That's amazing. Filipino flag. So right by this surf shop on Ruslan Street, you have the entrance to the Mahmoudiya mosque right here. I can't actually go inside because I'm not Muslim, but you can see the beautiful architecture from the outside. I'm not going to show you guys too much in the inside. Don't want to disturb anyone in there, but that is a beautiful mosque going all the way down. Very ancient mosque as well. And outside of here, you have the Sabil. I forgot exactly what it's called, but this is the communal fountain that exists outside of a lot of mosques. You'll see these all over Yafo, and you can come here, get a drink of water. I think it's predominantly made for Muslims, but open for anybody to refresh themselves. You even have a dog drinking bowl here in the area. Definitely a nice touch, and you can see it's all ancient. Some of it's been refurbished, but it's all next to these old tower walls, and you've got restaurants all around. So here is the Jaffa Great Mosque. Here's the outer walls of it. You can see the beautiful door and the architecture written in Arabic coming on the inside. And you've got restaurants scattered on the left and right. You've even got a Jewish temple right here as well. So you can see this is a very communal place for both Muslims, Jews, and Christians to live together. Because of how ancient Yafo is, its roots are really embedded in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism for everyone to be a very sacred place, similar to how Jerusalem is. And you've got these tourist shops scattered all around, similar to how you would have in Jerusalem. They'll sell you a kafia, they'll sell you a hijab, they'll sell you a camel with an Israeli flag on it, a kippah, yarmulke, whatever you're looking for. So here you've got another entrance to the water fountain. You can see there's many little alleyways that we're going to be walking through today, but this is the main one that I know about since I was a kid. This is another Sabil right here, and obviously there's entrances are only for Muslims, I believe, but this is part of the Mahmoudiya Mosque. You can see this beautiful water fountain complex. Pretty sure I have seen this running before with water. So because this area is run by the Department of Tourism and the city of Tel Aviv in cooperation with each other, you'll have signs like that pointing you towards the right places. We're gonna go up this hill right now because there's some cool, interesting things I want to show you guys at the top of this place. Walking up this hill, you're going to be taken to one of the most picturesque views of Tel Aviv and Yafo that you can possibly get in Israel. There really isn't many better places to get a view of the city from up above like this. And also you have a beautiful park and other historical significantly buildings here on the left that I'll take you guys to a little bit later. But first of all, let's go get a nice view. So here is our gorgeous view of the Tel Aviv skyline. This is a very famous photo spot, and there really are not many views like this of the city available to you. It is gorgeous. If you haven't been watching my other videos from Israel on this series, you would have seen that we've already really explored a lot of the major areas in urban Tel Aviv, in the new Tel Aviv. What's nice about this place is that standing from here, you can take a look at all the urban modern development of Tel Aviv. When you're out there, you can see this place from far away, and it's something that I really recommend. Seeing Yafo from far away, or even taking a boat out in the water and seeing what Yafo looks like from the water, it's an experience like nothing else. Getting to see this ancient city nestled within this modern Mecca of Israel, it's really a different experience. So here we got a look from where we just climbed up from. I was just down there when I started the video, and we walked up the hill. Now we're up here. And you've got old cannons here. So here's a look for you guys to see. These cast iron cannons were found during excavations at the Jaffa Port. The cannons were imported by the Ottoman government in the early 18th century to protect Jaffa from Bedouin raids by land and pirates by sea, to enhance Jaffa's stature. They stood on the city walls until those walls collapsed in the second half of the 19th century. So that is what these coastal cannons are. And of course, like many major tourist sites in Israel and around the world, we've got these stupid little Instagram frames. It is a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous view. And it just keeps on with these beautiful stones, a lot of old buildings left and right. Now, one thing that you will absolutely love about exploring Yafo, that you've got tons of this. These are like unmarked and undescribed staircases and alleyways taking you to only God knows where. These are ancient stairs that you can take to a bunch of different cool locations. Like this one will continue into the old city and take you deeper and deeper into the different complexes and alleyways that you go into. And just from the view right now, we've got a view of another mosque, we've got a view of another church. Look how many different ways that this continues to, how many different paths. Like here, we're just walking along outer rims of the ancient walls of the city. And you can only imagine who was here at the time. You know, it's been around for a long time. But yeah, seriously, walking around here, it's like a choose your own adventure situation where you could just end up in random places. Actually, I don't even think I've ever walked up this path before. Take a look at just how tranquil this place is though, huh? Very quiet without a lot of people. Again, it does fill up depending on if there's events happening here, depending on the tourists, but generally every time I've been here, especially if you come at this time of the day, it's gonna be very relaxed. You got a beautiful view of St. Paul's Church there as well. And just all these gardens, they're amazing, you know, it's so peaceful up here. You can see sort of modern development also inside of this ancient architecture just at the edge of it. So this is a statue of faith of Jacob's dream from the Bible, the sacrifice of Isaac and the fall of Jericho. It's all there in one statue. So I just love being here. I love walking around this place. I love showing this to people. Because again, I feel like a lot of people, when they envision Israel, maybe they envision a little bit of this, but probably in a more deserty context. They don't envision that at all. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are very ignorant to what Israel actually is, which is a very developed country, sort of emerging into the first world. I don't know if I would specifically say it's a first world country. I mean, I guess it is by all global standards it is, but it's got a lot of elements of a developing country in a lot of ways. All right, so here is the Wishing Bridge, or Gesher Amishalot, which is, Wishing Bridge in Hebrew. It says, an ancient legend holds that anyone boarding the bridge holds its Zodiac sign and looks at the sea, their wish will come true. That's the bridge. So depending on your Zodiac sign, which is right here on the left, or right, depending on what sign you're looking at, Aquarius, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, you got Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, that's me, Taurus, and Aries. The end of the Wishing Bridge, you have a circle showing all the different zodiac signs as well. A note that I wanted to say about that zodiac sign, and for example, my lack of belief in the zodiac symbols and how unimportant they are to me in my personal life. Israel as a country, it is the Holy Land, it is the place that is the birthplace of Judaism and pretty much the sproutings of every Abrahamic religion, Islam, Christianity, and whatever else came from it, after it, before it. This is sort of the source, the hub. So depending on where you are in this country, you have an opportunity to connect with, in my opinion, spirituality that precedes what your beliefs are. To me, it doesn't matter if you're Jewish or Christian or Muslim, or if you're, practicing Buddhism or Hinduism. Whatever religion you're practicing, Israel does not exclude you, because this place holds so much significance to so much people, to so many people around the world, and to so many religions around the world. There is a true energy that is stored in this land. And again, doesn't matter what religion background you come from. I wouldn't take myself as a extremely religious person. I was born and raised Jewish, and I believe in Judaism. I practice it on the daily, but I'm not extremely religious by any means. I am able to connect with this place on a level that I can't even explain. But there's a true energy here for everyone. This place has just got so much energy stored, so much history stored in it. So when you walk these streets, really keep an open mind and try to attain as much as you can from it. When you come out here, try to gather as much from it. Don't be too fixated on just filming everything and taking selfies and taking pictures for the gram, because that's cool, that's great, It's awesome, and it's great to promote tourism to Israel. It's a wonderful thing to do, but try to connect with the energy, the spirit that exists in this land, because there's a lot of it here. And I really, really believe to the core that it doesn't matter what religion you come from, what nationality, even if you don't have a direct genetic connection to this land, there's a lot that this land can give to you if you let it. So we're crossing under the Wishing Bridge right now. You can see the underneath of this Wishing Bridge, what it looks like. And I didn't actually get a chance to talk about it, but this is the St. Peter's Church. This is a newer church in the large scheme of things, especially when it comes to Yafo and old ancient Yafo. It's a pinnacle to show the coexistence between Muslims, Christians, and Jews in the Holy Land. So again, every alleyway you walk, every stone you step on here has got some sort of ancient historical significance to somebody. And that's what makes this place so special. Here's a great map for you guys also to visualize where we've been today. So we started here by the clock tower near the Mahmoudiyya Mosque. We're gonna go back here to the clock tower a little bit later because that's where the food is. We walked all the way up here. We saw the cannons, we saw the Sea Mosque, St. Peter's Church, Monastery. We've walked all throughout here. We went to the gardens, the gates, the Wishing Bridge. Now we're gonna be walking through this area. Just look at that view, my friends. That is something else. So where we're working our way down to right now is going to be to the old synagogue. Sorry for all the noise with the cars. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys some of this western part of the old city of Jaffa. I have such a hard time saying it when I'm translating between Hebrew and English because it's Yafo in Hebrew, Jaffa in English. So sorry about that if I keep saying Jaffa. It's not what I mean. Look at all this. It's so cool. So awesome when you head on in here. This way will actually lead us to another view of the ocean, believe it or not. Anyways, we've come to another historical site here. This is the house of Simon the Tanner. So what Peter did here was basically say, hey, you know the laws of kosher? Don't eat pork, all that jazz? Screw it, you're good. Believe in Jesus and all will be forgiven. And I mean, that is me simplifying the religion and the beliefs of Christianity and Catholicism for sure. It's not exactly 100% true, but that is belief, because a lot of people that I meet around the world, when I tell them I'm Jewish, first, a lot of people don't even know what Judaism is. A lot of Christians don't know what Judaism is or where Judaism comes from, but this is a very significant point because without this vision that he had here, who knows if Christianity would have ever sort of sected off the way that it did and become the worldwide religion that it is. So, poopity scoopity doo, look at the sign. We're gonna go up in there because it's beautiful. It's so cool to see cars driving up this too, because you would imagine this would all have been horses, hundreds and thousands of years ago. So these alleyways are very significant to tourists. Look at this. This is an ancient wooden nargila or hookah pipe. Can you show me what you have? So he's saying that they have ancient stuff, they've got jewelry, they've got all kinds of things here. This is a shofar, an ancient Jewish blowing tool for the holidays. We've got so many different things in this shop. And this is one of many. You've got a flea market here as well, but a store like this is going to be holding on to the sacred items, the things that are a little bit of higher value, that are not going to be as easy to find. You can see there's lots of ancient things here. And you can see the building itself too.
The building is not interesting.
No, it's not interesting, but it's historical. It's beautiful. So nice.
You collect for yourself or for someone?
No, it's on YouTube.
In YouTube?
YouTube, yeah. We're going to make you famous. We're going to put you on YouTube. What's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Joseph.
Nice to meet you.
So guys, come find Joseph.
This is the story. This shop has the story. And this store belongs to my father's friend. One of the biggest port to export oil in Iran.
In Iran? Abadan is called?
Abadan.
Okay.
There was a war between Iran and Arab in 1955-58. My father, because there they come lot of tourists with them. And my father goes and his friend, they go open like this one, exactly like old Jaffa. to open the shop for the tourists and the English people and many people they come to rest in Abadan, to port. And they sell them the things and sometimes go to office of many house of the officer, British Petroleum, and they send many handmade painting, copper, silver, brass. And my father has the friend, exactly they was close together, one to other side. My father friend left the Abadan and he came in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He came in 1958 in Israel, okay? And bought this shop. And he started working here, okay? To make the business with the same business which is has there in the Abadan. And years passed, years. And after that, my father go back to Isfahan, which is the family, they live there, wife and the children. And they open in Isfahan the shop. The years passing, and after happening many things. And after that, it came the revelation, okay? When revelation in Iran, and the Jew, they start to run into this regime.
Yeah.
And they come, everyone, they go, stay in here. And my father, anyhow, after that many things, the problem, he came with me, we came in here. And after the many years, I came in here, and it was the Gulf War like that, and I don't know the language, I don't know anything. And anyhow, this guy has the shop, he's there, and his son, it was here. One time I came in here, and son of my father friend, he was in here. Says, you want what you do? I say nothing. I am looking for the shop to start the work. This is in this all of this years happened many things. And he says that you want the shop? Here, come to this shop and to start the work. And this shop belongs to my father friend. And I starting here to work.
How many years?
This is over than 22 years.
22 years, wow. The thing is, my family, they had to escape Baghdad, Iraq, because of what happened.
Escape.
So, can you explain to people, because you are Jewish?
When they start the beginning revelation, they don't give the passport to any Jew, okay? And it was the war between Iran and Iraq. In the war,
right.
And the revelation, both. And every Jew, everyone, they want to run in there, and they don't give it the passport to Jewish people,
Mm-hmm.
And me and my wife, we want to run in. We want to go left the Iran.
You don't want to be in Iran anymore.
Yes, but they don't give it passport. I didn't agree to go very quickly, because it was everything bad, very bad situation, and it's not good time. But anyhow, my wife and me, they say we must go, but when we don't know. And one time my wife goes to committee, and this is to have the passport. They say, okay, you want the passport, your husband come and sign. Okay, and sign, he's ready, you left. That because in the Muslim people, the husband must be signed
for
the woman to go out.
And you can never go back to Iran again.
One time I go back and I paid many very expensive in my life.
But it's not safe.
But this is the point. It is after that my wife expect the passport Darkon, and with my children they come out in Israel, and I want to comes to Israel to my family. They didn't let me comes out. Because I signed for them.
Right.
And in airport they say you sign for your wife and your This is the guarantee. It is the I didn't know that.
Hmm.
This is the guarantee. They go and they come back. Where your wife? Where your children? In the Zionist country. My son. It was the age 17, 18.
Wow.
And I says, your son is now in the army of the Zionists, and they didn't let me to go. They take me to jail.
In Iran.
In Iran.
Wow.
It is they must be my wife and my children. They come back. Otherwise, I cannot come out even in the jail till they come back.
Guys, me and Joseph have been sitting here talking for an extra like 15 minutes after I stopped recording. If you guys want to hear his full story, let me know in the comments below. I will come back to Joseph and we will sit down and we'll do a whole video. You guys let me know in the comments below, and if it's something you guys are interested in, I'll come back, we'll sit down together, kos cafe, baklawa.
Now I can make tea for you.
Amazing. And we'll sit down and we'll record the whole story, okay? Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
See you. תהיה בריא. לא, הכל טוב, thank you. אני אחזור, תודה. He's offering me tea. This was, I couldn't even get a word out because the story was so intense, but what I was trying to explain in there was a little bit about the history and the complexity of being an Israeli citizen and being somebody who lives here. It's very, very complex, and his story is one that, you know, it just came out of the blue like this, but there's thousands of people, I would say millions of people in this country who experienced that very similar immigration to Israel. Joseph is not a white guy, he's not a colonialist, he's a brown Jew from Iran who was kicked out of his home country, similar to how my grandparents were kicked out of Iraq. And their only place that they were able to come to was Israel. It was the only place that was sort of safe for them. But this sort of story that a lot of people are fed in Israel, or fed around the world about Israel, that this is a colonialist state that was taken over by white people or Europeans, it's not the truth. 60% of this country look like Joseph and I. 60% of the people who live here are brown-skinned and ethnically genetic to the Middle East. And even the ones who are more light-skinned and white also have heavy, heavy ties to this nation. So again, not trying to push any sort of narrative or anything. We're going to explore these truths and obviously the dark sides to them as well in the future of this series across Israel. But this is one just random story of a guy who just had a lot to say. So I highly recommend too, if you guys are in Tel Aviv, Joseph seems like he just wants somebody to talk to. He just wants to tell people his story. So go sit with him, go talk with him, he'll make you tea. He was offering me tea right now. He just wants to sit and chat. He needs a friend. He needs someone to talk to. So definitely if you're in Tel Aviv, I highly recommend going, sitting down, getting to know him, hearing out his story. Don't listen to outside voices or people who are trying to feed you some sort of narrative. Come and talk to the people directly and learn how complex the story of this beautiful country and this beautiful city actually is. With that being said, let's keep exploring these little back alleys of Yafo. I think I completely missed the synagogue because I was walking around and talking so much. But to be honest with you, I'm getting kind of hungry. Kind of want to show you guys a really good food spot. This is so cool. You got tomatoes growing here. I gotta say, we've got some of the best tomatoes in the world in Israel. They're absolutely delicious. And you've got a little, is it a vineyard of tomatoes? I don't know, a vineyard of tomatoes? Is that how it's said in English? A bush of tomatoes? Ooh, look at those. Those are fresh. Look at those beautiful red tomatoes. That's awesome. So we made it to the entrance of Yafo, sort of the entrance of Yafo now. This is kind of like the main square area. We're going to be eating around there later. I do want to show you guys one food spot here first. But this area is very popular for shops and food. And this is obviously the famous Yafo clock tower. There's a few of these clock towers scattered around Israel in places like Tzfat, and there was one in Jerusalem, but it was destroyed during the British Empire when they ruled here. But this clock tower was completed in 1903. It's been here since then. It's a beautiful clock tower, and it really signifies sort of the entrance of old ancient Yafo. And the one that I'm going to bring you guys to is a fried chicken place of all places. We're going to be eating some Arab fried chicken. So guys, this is Ani, he's the manager here. And so this location, I was here 5 years ago. I was just asking him because I've seen them open up a bunch of different locations around Israel. They've closed all of them due to the pandemic, where they sold them off, and they only have this one now. So definitely come visit. But this is seriously the best chicken in Israel. I'm not even joking. It's the best. Here's the food. This is what it looks like. They threw in a coleslaw here, and then looks like a kadaif. I don't know what this is. It's like a little cake. Anyways, here's what the chicken looks like. Here's a drumstick for you. This is seriously classic American fried chicken in the Arab part of Yafo. You wouldn't expect it, but check this out. So good. It's seriously like taking a bite into KFC, but I would say even better than KFC. Because it's got a taste of a home, of some love there, you know? Look how that breaks off the bone. So good. Such good chicken. I can highly recommend this place. Friendly crew, lovely attitude, delicious food. Definitely check it out when you're in Yafo or anywhere else in Israel where you see it, but know that the Yafo location is their location. So come show them some love when you're out here. Look at that beautiful chicken. So good. Wow, that was so delicious. I'm so full. Actually, I had kind of a hard time finishing that. But now we got some energy in our stomach. We got to burn those calories. We're going to continue walking. I want to show you guys the old Jaffa Seaport. That's where we're going to now. All right, you can see where we're heading back down to now. Here's another view of the beach. Less surfers now, even though the waves look a little more consistent than what they've been the last few days. That being said, very small waves, but somewhat surfable, I guess. I'm sorry, I've been itching to surf so badly, and I've only had one session since I got here. We're going to go down to the port right now. We're going to follow this seawall all the way down. These birds and very smart and very aggressive also in Israel. They will attack you if you screw with them. So be careful of that. It's a little pro tip for you. You can see coming down, you've got this gorgeous view of Yafo behind me. And we were up there not too long ago. That's where the church is. You can see that's where the hill is and where the wishing bridge is. You see this little sailboat that's going on right now. The logo on the back of that is Sailor. This will be the 1000th time that I'm mentioning this since I got to Israel. But that company taught me how to sail here a few years ago. They have a little sailing school just right down here, down this street somewhere. Go in and rent sailboats from them and also do like lessons with them. And they taught me how to sail a few years ago. I forgot everything, but they did teach me how to do it. But you come out here into the old port of Yafo. I had to learn how to navigate through here and sail through these rocks right here to go out to the ocean. It was a very cool experience. I've learned everything because I haven't had a chance to practice that in years. I did it 5 years ago and I never sailed again after that. But they were super cool and super professional, so a big shout out to them. If you guys are looking to learn how to sail, you want to go on a sailboat for your first time, highly recommend reaching out to them. Sailor, I think they're called Sailor Yacht Club. Maybe I'll put it in the link in the description if I remember. But if not, look for them when you're here in Tel Aviv. They're super cool. And I saw a dolphin in the water when I was with them, which was a really cool experience because I've never seen a dolphin in Israel before in the wild, right out here. So that was awesome. Here you can see the view of sort of the promenade of the Jaffa Port. So we're getting into the sea town now. And you can see how thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, there were merchants here and sailors coming across the world to dock here and make their way into the Holy Land. Here it is. That's the yacht club I was talking about. And here you've got the sort of newer complex of the old Jaffa Port. So you've got these new restaurants in these warehouses, TV screens. This is going all the way down the marina. You're gonna have boats across this whole place and newer shops along the whole way as well, nestled into the old part of the city. From this place too, you can also take out boats and boat tours into the Mediterranean Sea. Here's another awesome part of this place is you can come right on down to the water. Check out the view from here. It's pretty dope. And of course, more restaurants and shops. This again is all new, less feels less authentic just because it's not part of the old city, but it's all, you know, refurbished warehouses that have been turned into their own areas for food, drink, partying, events, whatever it be. And it's very reminiscent of the other port at the other end of Tel Aviv. We're at the southern end of Tel Aviv right now. In the northern end of Tel Aviv, you have the old port of Tel Aviv as well. And that also is very reminiscent to this place. And just like that, we've sort of made it to the end of Yafo, kind of. I say kind of because we still have more to show you. But in this one spot, you can kind of see the newer, old style development. You can see that they're trying to be very in line. It's all modern mixed in with ancient. And we're right on the border here. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna head back into the port side here. And by the way, here you have, this is kind of like a mall where all these restaurants are. You do have bathrooms that you can use here and other facilities inside of here. But we're gonna go back to the right here. We're gonna go back into the old city. I'm gonna show you a cool way to get in there from down here. I'm gonna get it wrong, so I don't even wanna try to repeat the history. But the Ottomans, the French, and the British all had a part in building this seawall. These stones here make up some of the original remnants of what the original seawall was behind me. And you can see those, you know, old giant chunks of rock that make up what the port is now. The British wanted to create a port of their own here as well. So this was sort of ruined and rebuilt a few times over, but what modern day Yafo, or Jaffa's seaport and seawall looks like is this. It's an incorporation of the modern and the ancient together. All right, here's the entrance going up. So you see this alleyway is gonna connect us right back to where we were, where we met Joseph and his shops. You can see there's just tons of alleyways taking you to tons of different places. There are lots of boutique shops, art shops, jewelry shops. Where we're gonna go from here is we're gonna head to the Shuk Hapishpishim, or the flea market. You can find a multitude of different markets or shuks. I guess the English way to say shuk is souk, S-O-U-K. That's our version of a market. And within these markets, every one of them has its own different style. So the two popular ones in Tel Aviv would be like Nachalat Binyamin area, which is sort of the artsy stuff. The Kalman market, which is general, has fruits, vegetables, and a bunch of other things. It's got like goodies and souvenirs. Shuk Hapishpishim is mostly an antique market. It's got fruits, vegetables, it's got all that stuff thrown in there, but mostly people go there for the really cool antiques. So on our way down to the market, I wanted to show you guys this old building I've known about since I was a kid. The soap factory, that's what this place is. I've probably shown this in a video in the past before, but it's known for having a lot of bats. Can you hear those little squeaks? Those are all bats. I wish I could tell you which species of bat they are. I have no idea. There's tons of bats in there. So when you come here and explore Jaffa, look for this place, the old soap factory. If you catch it in the evening, they do sometimes fly out of here, and it is very cool. I think I've seen it one time in my life. There's also another, this is an endemic species of bird to Israel. I'm forgetting the name in Hebrew and in English. Super cool looking bird though. My Israeli viewers, please comment down below the name of the bird, because you guys will know it more than I will. All right, so coming out of the old city here, we're gonna hop onto a street called Olei Tzion, which will take us into the main area of the shuk. In this area you can see carpets, we've got some antiques on the left. Down here there's more of that, but right in here, this little alleyway, this will take you to the sort of center shop area. So here you've got all the different jewelry stores. You've got ancient goods here, you've got coins, you've got shirts, clothes. You can see walking through this market, it goes both ways. It's like a little thin alleyway with this covered area. It's kind of like a proper Middle Eastern or Ottoman style bazaar. It's kept a lot of that tradition from way back then, but obviously powered by fans now. You can see all the way to the other side, you have the other shops. So he's saying that he sells everything here. He's got everything that you want. Look, you've got wooden chests. You've got fezzes from Morocco.
Yes.
Look at this jewelry, beautiful stuff. You got knives. Look at all these cool things he's got in here. Look at these finjans, beautiful. I bought a finjan, my bachuchi. He gave me a good price. We're not going to disclose. You come visit him. Joseph Atzadik. You come visit Joseph when you're in the market. He's my friend. He's going to give you a good price. Show you guys what I purchased. I was looking for this little coffee pot, a finjan. I want to bring to the Philippines with me. And these they actually go for very, very, very expensive prices in the shuk. You will get ripped off in here trying to buy them. You have to haggle hard too. Don't be afraid to, you know, give them like a 90% price reduction of what they offered you, because they will negotiate with you. I'm not going to say exactly how much I got this for, because I don't think that's very ethical for the people in the shops, but when you come in here, negotiate. Don't take the first price that they offer you. And another note for you guys, not to get discouraged, don't get scared when people call you over to their shop. If they pull you by the hand and they bring you in, they negotiate prices with you, they seem a little bit on edge, they're a little bit aggressive. That's a Middle Eastern mentality. That's the Israeli Arab mentality. It's very sort of in your face. Don't be afraid of it. Go with the flow, especially when you're negotiating. It's all in good fun. Nobody's gonna get really angry at you or anything like that. So just take your time, negotiate what you're comfortable with. And that's sort of a look for you guys at Shuk Hapishpishim. So I had to plan this next stop under an empty stomach because I knew that I would have food thrown at me. This is basically a family friend's place. This is called Abulafia. It's been open since the 1800s here in Tel Aviv and in Israel. It's a family-owned Middle Eastern goods restaurant. Really, really good stuff. They do all kinds of toasts and bulekas and all kinds of delicious things. They've got desserts and sweets and everything you could possibly want right here. And this is owned by a close family friend and his family, the Abulafia family. I'm gonna introduce you guys to someone very special. This is my uncle Walid.
Hi.
How are you,
Nice
Walid?
to meet you. Fine, thank you.
How was your restaurant? Good?
Fine, thank you.
The best food in Israel.
Thank you.
Best. You guys come when you're in Yafo, you come visit Walid, you say hello from the traveling club. This is my uncle Walid. I love him very much. I haven't seen him in 5 years. So if you guys have seen the videos in 2017, we made some awesome videos of his restaurant that he has across the street there. All of those balconies right there is also great Middle Eastern style restaurant. This is more of the snacks. He just hooked me up with a beautiful sambusak filled with eggs and cheese and deliciousness. It's gonna be real good. We're gonna dig into this. This is sambusak from Abulafia. Look at that. Walid, it's the best sambusak, no?
Yes, number one.
Number one sambusak. Look at this. So toasty, so hot, so delicious. All right, heading out of Abulafia right now. Seriously, guys, Walid is an amazing human being. He's a close family friend, and this is, again, signifying the peace and the love between the Arab and Israelis, Arab Israelis and Jewish Israelis. It's really awesome to be able to have a friend and a family member like Walid. You know, we really consider him family between my family. Walid might be a Muslim Arab Israeli, and I'm an American Israeli Jew, but that doesn't stop us from being like family, or as close as you can be to family with somebody who's not blood related to you. That's just one of those very beautiful parts, and I highly recommend that you guys to watch our videos from 2017. We did a whole showcase of the restaurant there. I'll probably do it again during my trip here in Israel this time, but we're gonna be focusing on bigger and better things this trip, so I don't want to repeat so many of the things that I've done in the past. So I do recommend 2017 vlogs. Make sure you check them out. You'll see Walid, learn about the restaurant, all the good stuff. It's just one of the many back streets here in Yafo. That's not exactly populated, but not exactly empty. You got beautiful murals here too, but super cool shops. Look at all these little alleyways and stuff. This specific street really reminds me of Doyer Street in Chinatown in New York City, but in the Middle East. It's like Doyer Street in New York City, but like 2,000 years ago. And that, my friends, is your video for old ancient Yafo Tel Aviv. We'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications and become a member to the channel by joining, so you can get cool emojis and icons when you interact with our channel. Go a long way to supporting me. See you in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, class.